Hello, peachies. Welcome back to Dear Peachy. Lately, makeup trends have been making it feel like the problem is always the products. Like, if our makeup doesn't look right, it must be because we don't own that new foundation, that viral concealer, or that one palette everyone's using. But the truth is, most of the time, it's not the products that matter. It's the technique. We're so used to seeing perfectly edited makeup tutorial videos where everything looks effortless. But what often gets cut out are the most basic techniques. The small details we skip, the habits we never question, and the fundamentals we think we've already mastered. When in reality, we haven't, and no new product can fix that. So today, we're sharing 7 makeup tips that influencers rarely talk about, or quietly edit out of their videos. These aren't about buying more makeup. They're about using what we already have better. And we're honestly sure that by the end of this video, you'll walk away having learned something you never expected to learn. First, let's talk about the distance between us and the mirror. How close are we actually supposed to be to the mirror when we do our makeup? Most of the time, we're right up against it. We suddenly feel like every pore needs to be filled and every tiny blemish must disappear. But in real life, people don't see us that close. They see us from a normal social distance. All those flaws we're stressing over, most of the time, other people don't even notice them. That's why your base can look perfect at home. But the moment you step outside, it suddenly feels shocking, like it doesn't look as good as you thought it did. So for detailed work like eyeliner, mascara, or applying false lashes, it's totally fine to lean in and get a closer look. Around 10 centimeters is perfectly okay. But the important part is knowing when we should pull ourselves back. Anytime we're applying big areas of color like foundation, concealer, or blush, we need to check from a distance. With foundation or concealer, once you have applied or blended out your foundation about 70 to 80%, take a step back. If you can't see the blemish anymore, you can stop right there. Don't keep layering. Same with blush. After one swipe, step back. Look at your whole face. Then decide if you really need more. And if your makeup ever feels a bit off, stand farther from the mirror and squint your eyes slightly. In that blurred view, you'll instantly see where the blush is too heavy or the contour looks muddy. It's such a simple trick, but it works every time. Second, we really need to stop this mindset of doing it best means doing it all. Makeup doesn't need to include everything. Let's use tight lining as an example. Do we actually need it? Look straight into the mirror, relax your eyes, and observe the crease on your lid. If the crease fold of your double eyelids are wide, or you have thin eyelid skin, filling in the lash line can look great because there's sufficient space for it. But if your crease folds are narrow, or you have puffy lids, filling the entire lash line will just make your eyes look smaller and heavier. The tight liner gets covered by the excess skin, which is why it smudges or can get disappeared so easily. For this type of eye shape, keep the inner region clean. Starting from the inner corner to the area above the middle of the pupil, leave it blank. Then only begin to fill in eyeliner from the outer edge of the pupil towards the outer corner. Close to the lashes, extend a horizontal liner, focusing on the outer third of your eye. This subtly lengthens the eyes while keeping the width of the crease fold of your lids. For narrow double lids or in-fold doubles, eyeliner isn't about expanding the structure of the eyes, but it's about enhancing the eye shape by adjusting the level of the outer corner. Next, how to judge if you need to throw your old makeup away or it just needs a quick fix. For powder products like eyeshadow or pressed powder, if they're becoming more difficult to pick up powder from the pan, try to hold them up to the light. If there's a shiny, hard reflective layer on the surface, it means oils from your tools have transferred onto the product and sealed the powder. For an emergency fix, lay a piece of clear tape flat on the surface. Gently press, then peel it off. You'll see a dark, greasy, hard layer stuck to the tape, and the powder underneath will return to a matte, fluffy texture. For cream products like concealer or cream blush, if they haven't been used for a long time, they can get hardened over time. If you dip in with a brush directly, you won't even be able to move them. The correct way is to use the warmth of your fingers to activate the product. Another way is to warm it up with a blow dryer. Set it to medium heat, keep the airflow on low, and blow directly onto the product for about 30 seconds to activate it. You'll slowly feel it go from dry to creamy, and then it's usable again. As we all know, makeup products don't just have an expiration date. It has a best performance period. Its capacity to perform will get reduced once it is past that period, even if it's still within the best of use period. Now any of your cream-based products has shrunk into a lump and is seriously separated from the edges of the container? That's a sign that you know it can't be revived anymore, and it's time to just throw it away. Out of all products, mascara has the shortest lifespan. But it is hard to judge if it is still good to use. One of the ways is to listen to the sound when you pull the wand out from the tube. If you hear a crisp sound or you feel clear resistance from the lid opening, this shows that the product is still moist. If there's no resistance at all and the brush comes out with dry flakes, you can throw it away immediately. Let's talk about that one eyeshadow shade in the palette that looks nothing on your lids, and you think it's useless. That shade actually controls about 80% of how clean your eye makeup looks. After base makeup, when our eyelids are still a bit tacky from the foundation. If we go straight in with darker shades, it will clump up and look patchy on the lids. So the first job of this nude shade is to set down a base to set the eyelids, making them dry and smooth so the next shade can be blended nicely. It also helps with puffy eyes. A lot of us tend to use very light or pearlescent shades as the base, but that's basically highlighting puffiness. Instead, choose a fully matte shade that's just slightly deeper than your skin tone and blend it across the whole eye socket. This helps push the puffiness back so eyeliner aligns better with the eye structure later. Another common mistake is rushing straight into dark shades or glitter because we want to see the final look quickly. When the jump between shades is too big, the eye makeup ends up looking stiff and flat, with no real transition or dimension. That's where base shades come in. They act as the bridge between colors, keeping the look soft, blended, and giving that effortless smoky vibe. Fifth, how to wear bold red lips. We've all been there. The more we try to fill in the entire lips, the more the shade disappears on the inner region of the lips. It ends up on our teeth and creates a super obvious line. This isn't because your lips are dry or your lipstick's formula is bad. It's just how lips are built. The outer part of the lip skin is dry and the inner region near the teeth is moist. When we talk or drink, the oils in lipstick disintegrate due to that moisture around this region. Reapplying won't solve it. The key is to apply within the dry area and don't cross that line. After applying lipstick, use a cotton swab to clean off extra product and saliva from the inner part. If you really want some color on the inner part of your lips, use a lip tint instead. It stays put better and solves that harsh contrast between the inner and outer areas. Let it dry, then gently blot off any excess. This way, the line disappears and you can smile, talk, and laugh all day without worrying. Sixth, this one hurts a little because we've all done it. When makeup starts creasing, our instinct is to add more. More foundation on the sides of the nose, more concealer under the eyes or around smile lines. But this is actually the worst thing to do. With a base like this, you might notice budging, creasing, or separation after just a couple of hours. These areas break down even faster when there's too much product on them. They need less, not more. For the sides of the nose, after applying foundation on your cheeks, use whatever is left on the puff and gently press it onto the nose. That's enough. For under-eye concealer, focus on filling the groove precisely instead of covering a big area, and leave about a 5mm gap under the lower lashes. If you accidentally use too much before setting the base, try to make a big grin so it can help to squint your eyes a little to push the excess out of the under-eye creases. Then gently remove the excess products that gathered around the creases with a cotton swab, then dab out the remaining products with a clean finger before setting. Finally, if your foundation starts separating everywhere within 2 hours and your skin is getting greasy, this last tip is for you. After cleansing and skincare, blot off any excess oil with a napkin. Then, take a fluffy powder brush and dip it into translucent loose powder. Remember, it has to be loose powder and not compact powder. The amount has to be really minimal because this really matters. Shake off the excess powder on the brush and the lid and swirl the brush in your palm a couple of times. Then lightly press it all over your face. Once you are done, touch your skin and it should feel smooth. But in the mirror, you shouldn't see obvious powders on your face. On top of this, apply your foundation as usual. As the regular oil-controlling foundation and powder setting only deal with the surface, this reversed method actually helps lock in the excess oil before the base makeup. But just keep in mind, if you have combo skin or you have naturally dry skin, this method might be too drying for you. And that's a wrap. Remember, it's not about having every new product, it's about mastering the techniques you already have. Small changes like checking from a distance, using the right base shades, and knowing when to stop layering can make a huge difference. With these tips, your makeup will look effortless, polished, and last longer. Do you have any tips that you want to share too? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in the next video. Goodbye!